Hi, welcome back to the channel. So a couple months ago, I released a spreadsheet for Excel that'll allow you to make better descriptions for your AI art if you happen to be using Stable Diffusion or any other engine that uses Stable Diffusion. Like for example, I'm using a program called SUPERMACHINE, which doesn't have a logo right now, but you can see the interface is just a matter of pasting in or typing in descriptions and then putting in negative keywords and choosing an image aspect down here, filter if I want one. More interesting nowadays, if I want to use a custom model like MidJourney or Arcane or Instagram Influencer or any of the above, or image or whatever the case may be. I've got all these different options for creating better art, including the ability to type in a seed number so I can reproduce the same object, and it's just a really useful tool. But one thing I've noticed is that with any kind of AI art system, if your topics are kind of vague, you might get some poor generations, or at least something that's not quite what you want. So you can see, for example, here I was doing some tests with Starburst candy. I was actually showing a guy at work how this whole program works, and I had a fairly basic scene or description. Came out a pretty good result, I think, but you'll notice that the results are very different depending on which filter I'm using, even if I'm using the same prompt. Also, if I had the random generation, that just means that it's coming up with something completely different than maybe the thing I produced before, which would not be quite be the same if I, let's say, had a seed number but did a mild update. So like, for example, if I went ahead and copied the same prompt here, and actually let's go into Disco, since that's what this was. If I write the same prompt, and then instead of using the seed that they had here, I will just go ahead and put in something that's close to the seed. So instead of that, let's do 5. And so if I generate it, ideally it's going to come up with something similar but not the same. Okay, so while it's generating, I want to show you what this tool or the spreadsheet that I've been using, because I have updated it, unless of course this happens to generate before we go there. But yeah, there it is. Never mind. You can see that it's a pretty similar design. But if I do a random seed, so if I just delete this and just click that, you may find that the end result will be maybe not entirely different than these, but it's not going to be like these. These are fairly similar. Likewise, if I change the prompt with something smaller, like if I had done instead of table on a storm, maybe table in the breeze, or close up on candy, or something like that, I might get something completely different. Yeah, see, there you go. Much different generation, just from nature being a different seed. Anyway, with that in mind, I want to show you the spreadsheet that I have here that will help make this better, and I want to show you specifically the updates that I've done. Just bear in mind that what you're going to do is you're going to copy the description that you get from the spreadsheet into this page here. And same thing with any negatives. So just bear that in mind. But let me go ahead and let me show you this real quick, and then we'll call it for today. So this is the AI art prompt to description converter, which again uses the different variations of topics and descriptions and things you may use to create your art. You'll notice that everything is set up in columns, and it's in reference to these prompts over here. Basically, the idea is if you aren't sure what to write, you can use this prompt structure and fill in the information according to the prompt in the section, and when you're done, what's going to happen is it's all going to populate into this conversions tab, just like this. So, and this is, it makes it really easy to just right click, copy, and then paste into your engine of choice. And then the same thing for the negative prompts, which is something I've added to update 1, which is, you can do these down here. The other thing that's nice about this is that once you have your conversion, if you find one you really like, you can list your successful prompts. Now, in the old version, I had all the way up to image enhancement details, but in this new update, I'm also giving you the option to write down successful seed numbers, the engine you use to create it, if you are using an engine that uses custom models like the one I'm using, any negative prompts that is associated with the image, and then if you happen to be using image-to-image technology or you would also write down what the file name is and where you've stored it, or if you found it online, what the URL is here, and then what the temperature or image strength is that you decided to use. I know SuperMachine recommends 0.7 or 0.8 strength. If you want an image that's close to the one you are generating, but not exactly. I know the lower you go, the more likely you're going to have a different image, but with the same colors or the same kind of abstract shape. So that's just something to bear in mind. But yeah, if you have something that you've used that had a pretty successful run, you would record that over here. Obviously, I did not do that because the image that I'm using was straight from the machine. And if you go into the image gallery, which is a new tab I've added, you'll see the prompt or the picture that it created, which in this case I call it Cowboy of the Apocalypse. And then so the C that I wrote down here, 380, or this number here with this, all these details, it created this image. And if I were to put the same information into that same system again, it would generate the same image again, which if you have SuperMachine or anything like it and you have the ability to produce these seeds, you might get the same image. For sure, if you're using SuperMachine, possibly with other Stable Diffusion engines, although I can't say for sure that others would use the same type of technology. I think it really just depends on which tool you're using. But yeah, that's what I've added to update 1. So if you like this tool, if you think it's something that'll be useful to you, go ahead and download it. You're going to find a link in the description. You can also go check out the previous video if you want to see other examples of what I've done with this. That one's much longer. I'm trying to not make my videos 30 minutes long. Not very good at that yet, but working on it. So hopefully this will keep you under 10 minutes and give you something to strive for if you are having a hard time creating images that you want using descriptions that may be underserved. So anyway, that's all. Hope this works out for you. Let me know if you've used it. You can like, subscribe, do all the things YouTubers tell you to do. Leave a comment below if you have your thoughts that you want to share, and then just share your work if you want to. So anyway, that's all for now. Hope you all have a good day. SuperMachine is on Suno for another couple of days. I think the deal ends on February 1st. So if you're watching this after February 1st, it doesn't hurt to check. It might just be a price difference. Sometimes they do that, but likely it's going away. So it doesn't mean you can't get it. It just means you won't be able to get it on the lifetime deal. But it is the way it goes. But anyhow, that's all. All right. Have a good day. Thanks. Bye.